Hi, welcome back to Kaelin-Tech, lesson 13-B, continuation of our Transit ISP and our SRX build. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand a little bit now on our last lesson of lesson 13, which was the start of building a virtual router or routing instance and a zone for that routing instance and placing the interfaces into it. So what we'll do now is we'll continue building this, and we're going to build our is interfaces now, okay, to allow that communication via an IGP. So we go back to our SRX, and the first thing we'll need to do is set our loopback interfaces. So if we do set interfaces loopback 0, unit 0, family, inet, address, and if we go on to our spreadsheet, we'll see what address we gave it, and we know it's towards the end of that subnet. So what have we given it? We've given it loopback 0 250. Okay, so let's give it 250. 192.168.1.250/32. Okay, so we're going to commit that, and we're going to look at some important details with regards to virtual routers and their configurations. When we configure a virtual router, what we're doing is we are literally configuring what would be under normal circumstances a separate physical device. However, in this case it's not. It resides on another router, therefore it's called a virtual router, or in this case it resides on an SRX, but still a virtual router anyway. So we need to keep that in mind when we do any configuration work. So the address that we've just put in there, we need to put an ISO address on there anyway for is, but that will only be for the default inet 0 routing or forwarding table. But we'll do that anyway, so we'll do set interfaces, LO0, unit 0, family, ISO, address, and if we follow the pattern we've already utilized, remember we're in area 1, so we need 49.0001. The next slot can be unique, but we follow the IP addressing, don't we? So we'll do 192.168.01.0250.00, and that'll give us our ISO address. So let's commit that. Okay, so the problem we've got now is that you can only use one loopback per router. Okay, so unlike Cisco, it won't now simply just allow you to put in loopback 0 unit 10 as an example. Just won't let you do it. So what we have to do is we have to add those interfaces into our virtual routers first, then it will let us do it. Okay, so we do set our routing instance, and we'll do the customer one first. So we'll do customer VR interface. Okay, and if we have a look at our spreadsheet again, we'll have a look at what interface we created for the customer. So we're going to say loopback 0.10. Okay, so LO0 unit 10 it'll be, and that's going to be 249 is going to be the address, but we're not going to give it an address. We're only going to give it the ISO address, the net address. Okay, so the first thing is, though, we have to give it that interface. So we say LO0.10. Okay, that has now added that interface into the routing instance, or the virtual router, if you like. Okay, that will now allow us to do a set interfaces LO0 unit 10, and we said 249. So do family ISO address 49.000.192.16801.0249.00, and we're going to commit that, and that'll allow us to commit that because we've put the interface into. I'll just show you what will happen if we were to try and do it. We'll try and do it with 20 a minute, and it'll be 248. So we'll put a 2 in there, 20, and on here we're going to do 248, so it's unique. Okay, and if we try and commit that, okay, it won't let us because the multiple loopback interfaces are not permitted in the master routing instance, as I've said. So what we need to do to get that to work is we need to do set routing instance internal VR interface LO0.20. Okay, now if we commit this, it still may not let us. We might have to commit the other interface command first. Okay, but no, there you go. It's allowed us to do that. So that's our loopback interfaces committed with our net addresses. So for each routing instance. Now if we have a quick look at run, show configuration of our routing instances, and we do a display set on that, you'll notice now that we have our virtual router, but we now have this interface in there as well. Okay, now that is not going to do a lot from an is perspective by itself. Okay, if we were to have a look at the interfaces themselves, what do we have? Okay, let's go and have a look. Let's see what we actually have. Okay, and we'll display set that as well. So as you can see, we have our LO0 and our units. Okay, and they've got their net addressing, which we need. Okay, we need for each separate forwarding table. So if you like, virtual router routing instance that will each have their separate forwarding tables. Now, what we need to do is we're going to need to put all of that, obviously, into ISO as well. So let's start with set interfaces. Okay, GE-002 unit 0 family ISO. There's our first one. We also need GE001 in there. Okay, that needs to go in there as well. So let's commit that. And we've put those into the ISO family. Okay. The ISO addressing for the LOs are in there. We've done it all in one line. Okay. So we've done it all under one unit there. So we've set those interfaces into family ISO. As I've stated, we've the loopback 0 addressing is already completed. It's the family ISO. It's all in one line now. We've done it all in one line. Okay, so that gives us that information. However, it's still not completed yet. So let's see what we've got now. So we'll have a look at our interfaces. Okay, so now as you can see, we've got the ISO configuration as well. All right, all that's done is that's put that into as is. Now remember, I said our virtual routers are separate systems. So in reality, it's like configuring up two different systems. So now we have to configure as is on those systems as we would any other system. So we do set routing instances. So now we go on to the routing instance that we want to configure. So we'll start on the customer. Now it's like we're here at this point here is where we are like we're on a physical box. But instead of having to do the set, we're already in there. with the set command structure. You could do edit if you wanted to. I'm just showing you the set routing instances customer VR side of it, but you could do edit routing instances customer VR and then you set the set commands. Okay, so what would it normally be? Well, we'd normally do set protocols as is. So here we've done the set command already, so now it's just protocols. Oh, protocols is. And what do we normally put in there? Well, normally we put our interfaces. Okay, because we are in this particular routing instance of the customer VR, we want to make sure we put the right interfaces in there. So we're going to put GE-002.0. Okay, we know we want that one in there. But we also want the loopback interface in there of 10. If you remember, it was 10 that we did for this one. So LO0.10. There we go. Now, we can commit that, and we're going to go ahead and commit it. Okay? Now, we've got to do the same with, so we're going to do set routing instances, this time internal VR. Okay, protocols. There we go. Protocols. I'm sorry it's a bit slow, but I'm doing it one-handed again. Protocols is interface GE-001.0 and LO20 0.20. Yeah, on this one. So LO0.20. Okay. Now that does the interfaces, and we'll see this in a moment. Let's put those interfaces into. Let's have a look at the configuration. Set the interfaces. That's the interfaces, routing instances. Right, so let's have a look at that now. So now we have the ISIS interfaces, the two of them. Okay, on each virtual router. Okay, but that's no good to us just like that. If you remember, all our other ISIS configuration also had MD5 checksums and passwords. Well, that's what we've got to do here as well. So let's copy this to there. Okay, so we're now going to do level. Remember, it's the same. Level 1. Authentication. We'll start with type. Okay, so we'll do MD5. We also want that with level 2. So we'll put that with level 2 as well. And we also need the key. And the key has to be the same, remember, as all the other ISIS configs. So the key is going to be all lowercase password. And we also want that on level 2. At level 1, sorry. Okay, we'll commit that. And we're also going to put this onto the internal VR. So let's do it that way as well. We'll go up to ISIS. And we're going to say level 1. Authentication type we'll do as MD5. We also need that for level 2 because we're using level 1 and level 2 at the moment. Okay, when I do an ISIS document, we'll separate the levels out. Okay, and we want a key as well. Again, it's got to be the same. So password, all lowercase. And also for level 1. And we'll commit that. Okay, so once that's committed, we're going to have a quick look at that config again. So we'll use the up arrow until we get to the config side of it. There we go. So let's have a look at what we've got now. So now we've got the authentication as well. We're starting to build this up quite nicely now. Okay, so the only other thing we're going to have to do here at this particular moment in time is we have our zones as well. So we're going to need to put those loopback interfaces into the zones as well. Okay. In fact, actually, no, we shouldn't have to at this point. We shouldn't have to put our loopback interfaces into the zone because I don't think those are going to be required. Let me just ensure that we don't have to do that. I'm pretty certain we don't. No, we don't. So we don't have to put the loopback interfaces into there because they're purely for as is. So we're fine with that. Okay. Now, if we were to do a run show route now, let's have a look and see what we've got in there. Okay. So currently at the moment on our customer VR, we are seeing, because we've put the ISO, or the is if you like, command structure on there. Have you noticed we see all the networks now that are within our customer network beyond the core? Okay, we also see the loopback interfaces, all via is. Note, apart from the direct one. Okay. The internal VR, however, can only see itself. It cannot currently at the moment see anything external to it. Now that's because we have to look at it from the perspective of, we have configured two virtuals, but they're like physicals. So they're not really connected together yet. We have to find a way of connecting it together. And we're going to do that with logical tunnels, but we're going to do that in the next lesson, okay, which will be lesson C from lesson 13. Okay, so I'll speak to you in a few minutes with regards to that. Bye-bye.